This first progression is basically a 1-6-2-5. That C sharp diminished is another way of saying A7. So it doesn't matter if for now, for this improv exercise, if I play A7 there or not. I may do, or I may play the C sharp diminished. Either way, because they have the same function, and this is why for me, a functional method trumps a chord scale method anytime. So rather than saying here's a chord and there's a scale that you play over that chord, it's not always true because of the context of the chord anyway. But if you do know the function of the chord, then you'll always be okay. So when I have that C sharp diminished or A7, that C sharp diminished goes over A7, chord 6, which leads to D minor 7th, right? If for anyone watching this as a separate clip later, I'll link where you can learn more about that because I can see that problem coming otherwise. So that for me is the D harmonic minor scale. Because that A7 is the 5th. If I go further, the 5th chord of that D harmonic minor scale, and it leads to a minor. That's its job, right? So this is something else I've taught elsewhere a lot, but for now, I'll tell you that's what I'm doing. And therefore, let's say I'm going just up the scale, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But the chord changes on me halfway through the bar like this. Well, which notes are different between C major, I'll put a C major there, and D harmonic minor? Which are the different notes? It's not a trick question. B flat and C sharp, ideally. Yeah, the computer's saying D flat, but yeah, B flat, C sharp. So in other words, here's the C major scale. Here, if I take the C up and the B down, here's the D harmonic minor scale, right? So let's say that I have this phrase 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's got to change halfway through the bar. Then it becomes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, right? So any phrase I've worked on just needs to adjust that C to a sharp or the B to a flat. If the phrase was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, then it will become 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You probably heard Charlie Parker play phrases like that. I do talk about how minor 2/5s work a lot in lessons. We have a lot on that on Jazz Skills, but you will find that chords like E minor 7 flat 5 to A7, which is a 2/5 to D minor, that even those chords all come from the D harmonic minor scale, okay? And when our destination is minor, that works as a good sound. Whether we're using the A7 on the second chord or the C sharp diminished, because both of them come from that. I mean on the second chord, not on the D minor 7th chord. By then I'm back in the key of C actually. So if we look at which chords, so that comes from C, that comes from C, and so does that. So they can all just be the C major scale. It's here that I've got to do something different, and that's where I'm using the D harmonic minor scale. So in the progression, let's say, okay, so that one, when we did the third, doesn't need to change, right? Unless I go further. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Actually, no, it would. That would be fine if we had a bar each. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. But if I've got them both in the same bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, whether I play A7 or C sharp diminished. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. See, so a phrase we had earlier, as long as you adapt that B to B flat, you got a phrase, right? Simple stuff. Cut off the first note. Cut off another note from the beginning. Can we cut off another note from the beginning? Can you see how cutting off a note each time from the beginning, you got to start thinking rhythmically, right? Okay. And then I would want to take the third phase of this. I would want to take any phrase that I'm working on and see if it stands up within the tune. Now, this one happened to be right at the beginning. So let's see. Let's have the track only without my playing. Here we go. And then either comping, fine, or just do all the rest of it. Let's try again. Yeah, and then do all the same stuff with cutting off notes and all of that sort of business as well. There's a lot more tips and tricks and methods and Barry Harris scale rules and my rules of thirds method and all kinds of approaches, but the phases for me remain the same. First, phrases out of context, then phrases within progressions, then those progressions within tunes, and see if you can make that section still happen when the tune's going past, okay? Hope that's making sense. Well, you made it to the end of this lesson, so I hope you enjoyed it. Consider joining me on Jazz Skills, where we'll take you on a real journey of fluency, not just throw loads of content at you, but really focus on your transformation, teach you which skills need to be in place, how to work on it, and support you all the way. So I hope you'll join me there. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.